Hey everyone, welcome to Dubventures. As many of you know, we've sold our campervan after 10 years of van life, but let me tell you one thing, it feels so strange not having a campervan. Not having a campervan for us doesn't mean that the adventure ends there, because at the moment, we're on a campsite and we've come glamping, because in the meantime, whilst we're looking to get another campervan, we still explore. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go exploring, and as I go exploring, I'm going to have a chat with you guys. I'm going to talk about the 5 things that we really miss about van life, and the 5 things that we definitely don't miss while we don't have a campervan. So the first thing that we miss about not having a campervan, it's the freedom. It's the freedom to be able to go like well camping and just pull out, you know, where you can like park overnight, you know, and experience that freedom of like well camping. Now whilst we're in a campsite at the moment, you know, we really enjoy it in that, but we're in Scotland, and you know, whilst we're travelling in Scotland, you're kind of like restricted to campsites, you know, if you don't have a campervan, if you're like staying in a glamping post like we are. But the freedom of being able to obviously just well camp, that's the main thing that we've noticed that we miss already. Waking up in amazing locations like we have done in Switzerland, France, Italy, Austria, you can't beat that. The second thing that we really miss is, it's when you travel, it's having your home on wheels with you. You know, having all your accessories, all your cooking gear and things like that. You know, you can pull over when you want, have a rest, and just be able to basically like live out of your van while you travel. That's, you know, such an amazing thing to be able to do. Another thing that we miss, and this is like number 3, it's the community and like the van life, like friendship, and you know, meeting like people in the van life community. Because a lot of people, when you've got a camper van and you see like other people in camper vans, it's like a little bit of like a thing where you know what you're both doing, and you have like a lot of similarities and things. A lot of like good friends that like become lifelong friends we've met because of van life. We've had a lot of van meets in the past over the 10 years of van life, and you know, at the moment, like not being able to do things like that, we miss it. The fourth thing that we miss, and I think this is probably like one of the main ones, it's the adventure lifestyle. It's the being able to just at any moment just get some basic equipment together, just get on the road, go exploring, go travelling. And like I said, if you find like well camping areas, you know, like where you can come to areas like this, just being able to just get up and go, because every time you do something like that, it's so exciting and it's such an adventure. Being able to travel with no like plan, amazing. The fifth thing that we really miss is, it's like a sense of achievement. When you're in a campervan and you travel, and all the things that we've just spoke about, like what we miss, going out and like doing like that like adventurous like type of travel, we miss it. Because you know, when you go somewhere and you're well camping, you know, you've got your equipment out, and you know, even if you stay on campsites and things, there's like a feeling that you've like of achievement, and anyone who's got a campervan will understand that. Or even if like, you know, you've got tents, or you know, you go like traveling and you know, you travel that way, like I said, that sense that like you're doing something, you just feel really good about it. And at the moment, because obviously we don't have the campervan, we miss that. Do you know what? Filming this video, we're just at this campsite in Scotland. I tell you what, would we have ever found this if we were staying at this campsite? I don't think we would have. I mean, look how peaceful it is here. Such an amazing area to go for a walk. One of the things that we miss as well, that's kind of like with that achievement thing as well, is, you know, like if you own a campervan, there's a lot of times when you go out on a day-to-day basis, you know, you might be shopping and things, that van life thing is with you so much that when you're shopping, you might see like a little accessory or something, or you might see something that's like, oh, that'll be handy for the campervan, you know, oh, that little accessory there, you know, get that for the campervan. You know what, I really miss that as well. There is some things though that we don't miss about van life, so let's have a quick chat about that. And the first thing that we don't miss about van life is, it's probably the most under-talked thing with van life, it's the bathroom situation. We don't miss the bathroom situation where, you know, with your portable toilets and things, you know, you have to like empty them. You have to think in advance, like if you're on a long road trip, like when we was in Switzerland and Austria, you've got to think like campsites that you're staying in and kind of like work out how to get rid of your toilet waste and things. Some camper vans, they do come equipped with showers and things. Our camper van that we had, you know, we didn't have a shower. We did it that way, we chose it that way, and we always worked our trips around, you know, staying at some campsites while I was doing like long road trips and things. Another thing that I don't miss about van life, you know, the second thing is, it's the parking situation. Now I know that like I was talking about well camping, you know, how amazing it is, the freedom of being able to like do what we want to do and things. But in the UK, it's no secret, well camping restrictions, they're getting more and more difficult, and because of that, it can bring a lot of stress. The restrictions in the UK, we've seen it so much when, you know, like a few years ago, we'd go somewhere well camping and things, and it's just like now, no overnight stays allowed, barriers coming up. Restrictions for us, it took away like some of the enjoyment, because we've been on road trips before in Scotland, and this happened not so long ago, where we had an idea where we was going to stay, and then when we got there, from one year to the next, there's a big sign up saying like no overnight camping or stays. The situation in the UK, it is getting worse, and I think that over the years it's going to get more and more difficult to well camp. The third thing that I don't miss about van life is it's the campsite cost. I know I spoke a lot in this video about well camping, but sometimes, you know, we do stay at campsites, and especially if you're doing like a European road trip, you do need campsites in like certain areas that you go, because you need to get everything recharged, and obviously, you know, you want to get yourself fully clean and just reset basically. But again, over the years, what we've noticed is the prices of campsites are going up and up and up and up, but the value for money is coming down and down. It's getting to a stage now where some campsites, they're charging the same amount of money as it is to actually stay in like a good hotel. The fourth thing that we do not miss about van life is it's the cost of maintenance and mechanical issues with your vehicle. Now, if you've got a camper van, whether you've built it yourselves or you've bought it converted, these vehicles, they tend to cost a lot more money than if you were just like buying a normal vehicle that doesn't have other facilities in. One thing that we never took into consideration when we bought the camper van that we just had was, because it was like relatively new, one thing that we never considered is that that vehicle would break down on a few different occasions. Now the van was only a few years old, and the maintenance of it started like getting to a stage like where it was costing like too much money and like having issues of like certain things. Now it's not the reason that we got rid of our camper van, the mechanical issues. There was like lots of different issues, but like one of the main issues that we did get rid of it is because on a road trip we broke down on a holiday, and you know, we had to get the van recovered, and if you've seen that video you'll see what a big issue that was. But the thing is, when you get to the stage where you're organising your travel and you want to go on holiday and you want to have this amazing experience, when you get to the stage where the vehicle that you've got might not be reliable, or it might have a lot of mechanical issues, it kind of like takes away from the whole point of what you're doing. You know what, there's like a little island just over there. I'm gonna go see how deep that water is, because you know what, adventure, exploring, I want to see if I can get over there. Let's go. I don't know how deep this is going to be, but let's just have a quick look. Let's have a quick look. It's love it. Yes. Yes. God, I didn't realise how far I'd walked. Look at that. Right, let's just have a quick nosy on here, and then I'll tell you the last thing that I definitely do not miss about owning a camper van and van life. Fifth thing that I don't miss about van life is it's the change in the weather situation. Now, if you've got the correct gear, the weather doesn't affect you. Now, we've, like I said, been doing van life for 10 years, and obviously we've experienced all weather: snow, summer, wind, rain, storms as well. Now, when you're in a small space and you know you're trying to get dry, and try to get all your clothes dry and things, you know, it's a little bit annoying. Listen, it's not a deal breaker for van life. I'm just saying that I don't miss that. Now, whilst we've been here, it has been raining and things, but having like a glamping pod and more space and things, it's a lot easier. You can just like take your clothes off and like get them dry, get in the shower and things. But obviously, when you're out on the road. That's not as easy. Now, for us, obviously, travel and exploring and going out and about, we don't let the weather affect us, but I'm just saying it's one thing that we don't miss, because the weather situation, for a lot of people, it does affect how you travel. Okay, so now I need to walk over there. Yes!